You're a VP of a very prominent tech company. You manage over 80 markets. She has a lot of strong views also on women empowerment, beauty, and working environment. Do you think it helps being attractive?
Not in the tech industry. I am born Muslim. My cousins, I have half of them, they are Christian. Quarter of them, they are Jewish.
Oh, wow.
She would not go defend or hide for another woman. There is no womanhood. I got pregnant during the COVID.
I think a lot of people did.
I am giving birth to a man. Then later on, I'm asking for him to give me power. It doesn't make sense to me. Men, they have an ego.
Women don't have ego?
Describe what is it to be a woman in 2024.
Think about this.
It's big debate.
It is.
Now, I have like 99% male in my team. I'm not proud of it.
Hi everyone and welcome to Inside Track with me, Luca Allam. Today's guest, she knows a lot about tech. She has a lot of strong views on AI. She has a lot of strong views also on women empowerment and the generation gap that seems to be widening. But she's also a great mum and a great person. Loubna, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today.
Pleasure.
Thank you for this great introduction.
Well, you're welcome. That's what happens when you come on the Inside Track. You get introductions extraordinaire.
Yeah, it's like deep. It goes inside. You know? It describes how people feel.
My name is Loubna Imenchal. I am the head of enterprise business of Logitech. I'm leading the region with my team of AMETCA, which stands for Africa, Middle East, Turkey, and Central Asia.
Everyone needs video collaboration. That one day the coming generation will want to work from hybrid, to be free to work from anywhere. And that based on data research about the habits, about what the coming generation wants, how they want to work, how they want to be free, how they want to be happy.
So talk to me about your mini mug that I can see here. What's that about?
Oh, my mini mug is actually representing the colorful country that I came from, which is Morocco.
Okay.
And actually, what you see here, it's what we call zalige.
Zalige.
Yeah, it's the frame that we put on the flooring.
Okay.
So if you go to the north of Morocco,
yes,
you will find all the north is blue and white.
Oh, wow.
And if you go to the south, it's red.
And where are you from? You're from the north or the south?
I'm from the south.
You're from the south. South is better. Do you have a problem in Morocco where you compare the north people from the south people?
Yes.
Is there a big rivalry?
No, I would not say rivalry, but there is like people who feel proud coming from the north.
Yeah.
And people who feel proud coming from the south.
Of course, like everywhere, right? Like everywhere. Yeah. But when it comes to football, I'm guessing everyone kind of comes together. I mean, the World Cup, you guys were, I mean, it was incredible what you guys achieved.
Yeah, we've been very proud of it.
Yeah.
But you know, the north in Morocco, they speak Spanish.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, how's your Spanish?
I'm not from the north.
So nothing, nada.
Nada.
Ninguna palabra de español.
Nada.
Yeah.
So, because in Morocco, we speak French mainly, more than Moroccan.
Yeah.
So in the north, they speak Spanish rather than Moroccan.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like...
And talk to me about Berber. Is it Berber?
I am Berber.
Berber. Is that
Berber,
what I'm saying? Like Burberry, but without the Y.
Yeah, without Y. It's not brand.
Yeah.
Barabera.
Yeah, okay.
So we don't consider ourselves Arabs.
Okay.
Because we are not Arab. So we speak Amazigh, which is another language.
Okay.
Completely different. It's fascinating because when you see the language, the alphabets are similar to Mandarin. So there are people saying that our origins are coming from Asia.
Really?
Yes, that's what I heard.
Okay.
I'm still digging.
Yeah, you're still
I will keep you updated.
Yeah, let me know. There's a lot I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about the generation gap. I want to talk to you about women empowerment in business, especially in your line of work, technology. It's crazy the numbers with how many people in leadership who are female versus male. I want to talk to you a little bit about being a mum and what that's like with two kids who are 14 years apart, 12 years apart, whatever the case is. How many years apart are they?
The oldest is 17
and
the youngest, she's 3.
Okay, yeah, so like 14 years apart. I also want to talk to you about second marriage and what that's like, if that's okay with you. We'll get into that as well. But more importantly, talk about things that are most important. So that's what I want to cover, but there might be something also from your side.
Oh, yeah.
Sound good? Yeah?
Yep, great.
Before I ask anything else, normally in my show, I always ask guests for a safe word. So it's a question that maybe you don't feel super comfortable answering. If there is a question that I ask, maybe about your second marriage or even your first marriage, you can use a safe word. So what is your safe word, Loubna?
Sami.
Sami, name of your oldest.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about Sami. He's 17. Is he a good boy? Is he a mummy's boy?
He's a very good boy, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's not a mommy boy.
Okay.
He is very mature since he was very young.
Okay.
I think I was raising him always to be free, and when he was a really kid, he was like starting analyzing things. You know, when he was 7 years, we were talking about religions because I come from a country where Jewish, Christian, Muslim in the same street. So we have like the synagogue, the church, and the mosque in the same street. So we don't know the difference.
Yes.
And Morocco has always been like protective in this way. We don't know religions, we know like nationality. We are all Moroccan. We don't care about religion. So I'm saying that Sami, when he was growing, he was like, am I Muslim? Am I Christian? Am I like Jewish? He was like, I said, hey, honey, I am born Muslim, okay? But my cousins, I have half of them, they are Christians. And I have quarter of them that are Jewish. And we are like 29 cousins, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that a standard Moroccan family?
Yeah, I mean, my grandmom from my mom was like having 11
kids?
11 kids. And
Wow.
the 11 kids...
Can she remember all the names of the kids?
Of course. We are cousins. I mean, we grow up like...
I would just number them at some point.
Yeah,
It's just
so
much easier.
No, because we grew up like same generation,
Yeah.
X1, and we've been like all around in Friday, around couscous. And some of them, I mean, the parents, they go, maybe one of them goes to the mosque. The second day, like, we go to, to the church.
Yeah.
And it was like funny because we have this, we don't care what is the religion as much as we are together. So Sami, when he was a kid and he went to school, and the teacher was asking him, and he said, I don't understand, because when I look at the ants, they are so small. I don't know from which religion they are. And I think God, for him, we are so small as a human. I think he doesn't care where we go. He's so big.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care about my religion. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was like...
It's quite insightful, actually.
It is, right? So because when his teacher called me, I was like, oh, I don't know what to say. I never told him this.
Yeah.
So he came up by himself. That's why I'm saying he's very mature. He's very curious.
So he's inquisitive by nature.
Yes,
Nice.
by nature. You're a very curious guy.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, you're a VP of a very prominent tech company. You manage over 80 markets. Yeah. And in your previous jobs, you've also managed thousands of people, right? This is not an exception. So,
correct.
And you're one of the few, if not one of the only, female leaders in technology in the Middle East. In fact, at the time of recording, you're on the cover of, is it Gulf Business?
Well, I've been in the cover of the Gulf Business, Menatech, resellers.
Yeah. I mean, you've been there. So that's impressive. And it's more impressive because the backdrop of, I don't want to call it discrimination, but I kind of will call it discrimination between certain sexes in certain industries. So talk to me a little bit about how you've managed to battle your way, because I know this about you. You like to fight for things. Talk to me about how you managed to battle your way, really, to being at the very top of the technology industry. I'd love to know. As a woman, and a Moroccan woman.
Correct, yes. Maybe good to mention as a Moroccan woman, because, you have the first thing, which as a woman, then you have the nationality that you are.
Yeah.
So I think what... it's about also character, because there are a lot of women that I met, because now I launched an initiative called Connect to Elevate, which is actually starts for women to invite them and to connect with them so we can elevate them in there. And this is another subject that we can talk about later. So to answer to your question, it's more about character, because the first time when I decided to be in tech industry, I didn't enter from easy way, I would say, because I choose the industry that was very closed, 100% male dominated, which is like Honeywell.
Yeah. You were refused an interview when you first started. They didn't want to interview you because you're a female, I'm guessing.
They couldn't say because you're female.
Yeah.
They just say, look, you know what, this job is not for you.
Yeah.
Let us offer you something else. That's the agency, by the way.
Oh, really?
It's not the client.
Okay.
The agency. But the agency were doing their job because they got the information from the clients, telling them, hey, we don't want a woman.
Yeah. But you battled your way through to get the interview.
Yeah,
right?
I said,
and then
look,
you
give
spent
me
a couple
5
of
minutes.
Yeah, and you ended up being a couple of hours, and you went for dinner the same evening to talk about it with them. I mean, that's crazy. So going from a mindset of, because most people would have said, okay, maybe I'll move on.
Yeah.
But you ended up spending the entire day with that
And
company.
it was like my longest experience on my CV, which is funny because, and back in that time, my boss was like, I said, why you hired me? Are you hiring me because I'm women? And he was like, no, I hired you because you showed us another way of doing business, which is actually in our job description, we were mentioning we need engineer, we need this, we need this. Well, actually, we need someone who can open for us the markets that we don't know.
Yeah.
And you had the experience. And none of the candidates, male one, was actually coming with this fresh way of seeing things and advising us as a multinational that we are new on this market to say, hey, you don't know the market, you know your product.
Yeah.
I know the market.
So it's fair to say there was an initial stereotype because you're a woman, but then you won them over because of what's in here and obviously your experience.
And I was like insisting, don't choose me because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's hurting, honestly speaking, because it should be fair. Who is actually coming with go-to-market strategy that is right for this job? It can be male or female. Do not eliminate me because I'm a woman, and do not hire me because I'm a woman.
Yeah. Contextualize it for me. How many women are there in the tech industry in a senior position in the Middle East?
In senior position, less than 3%. In a global, less than 5%.
So is it one of the most one-sided industry? Is it fair to say that? Or do you think there's more industries out there that are potentially more alienating for women?
No, it's we grow up with the fact that women can be nurse, can be, I don't know. Even now, which is funny, if you see male nurse, the brain doesn't accept it. I have a friend of mine, she's a CEO for a big company. Her husband is nurse. And every time she introduces him, when they go out in events, and she say, hey, my husband, what do you do? I'm nurse. Everyone is shocked.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So it's not only female, because the stereotype of this job is for women, this job is for men. I don't know who dictated that in the beginning, but this is how we grow up, So same to the tech industry. It started with men, but it doesn't mean that women never been there. It just, they were isolated. And also, which is something very important, men, when they decide to launch things, they will gather together, and they have this strong relationship to defend themselves. And I can see it because I was leading men.
Bro code, like bro code almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had this experience, like in my previous job in Johnson Control, I was like leading more than 3,500 people. And in Qatar, we had like biggest project of airports. And it was like 500 people working there, all of them men. And when you talk to someone, the spread of the information will go fast. They will go and have a dinner together or a beer together or drink. They will make the decisions. They will defend each other, and they will hide anything bad about anyone. Women know.
It's tech bro code. It's the same principles with everything else.
Everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
And the women, I was like always having some, because I don't have, unfortunately, many. Women, whenever something happened that she's not happy about, she will come and she will say it. She will not go defend or hide for another woman. There is no womanhood.
Yeah, which is a shame. You're managing 3,500 plus people, mainly men.
Yes.
Do you have to change how you position yourself as a leader versus, let's say you're managing 3,500 women? Have you had to change and adapt based on your workforce, bearing in mind, the association and the stigma of having a female in leadership in technology? Would you have been a different boss had they all been female?
No. I think in my position as a leader, I keep the same way, because yes, men, they have an ego. Yes, they
Women don't have ego?
Women, she will accept.
Okay.
She will accept easily because, again, women, I'm not generalizing, I'm saying from my own experience. Women will always try to be perfect. Men, no. They are so sure of themselves. And they will not like, I'm bringing you this. I mean, this is my project. What do you want more? Women, she will come and she will say, is it good? Is it enough? Is it perfect? She will always. And that's fascinating because man, for him, he grew up with the idea, and specifically in the Middle East region, with the idea that his mom is always telling him he's the best.
Yeah.
And in the same family, you can find a brother, his sister. The brother will tell him his mom, what do you want, honey? Do you need a sandwich? Let me make it for you. They are on the same table. She will tell the sister, her daughter, do you want a sandwich? Go make it. This concept, this way of treating and the education, the man grow up with the idea he's good enough. He doesn't need to make an effort. So we cannot blame him one
Very
day,
interesting.
you know?
Has that changed now? Are we still in the same
Again,
period?
it's about generations. So I think the coming generation, the parents, because they grow up, they don't like it anymore. They're trying to educate their kids separately, but it's not easy because we came up from this education, you know? It's like inherited, so it's very difficult. So, for example, to answer to your question, in my role in Fleeting, I never gave any promotion to a male who said, no, I can't do it. I gave 3 promotion to 3 women different. All of them, they declined it.
Why?
And the reason, the man, he will not, oh my God, yeah, of course, I want to be VP. He doesn't even know what is the job yet, because the title for him is important. He doesn't know the responsibilities, yes. And women, when I gave her the promotion, I remember very well, she was like, does it mean I have to travel a lot? Does it mean I have to deliver this? She will ask all the questions first. Then she will have, you know, I have a family.
She's almost finding a way out of it, whereas the guy you're saying is trying to get himself into the job as quick as possible without even knowing so much about it.
Because women, again, she will need the perfection, you know. She's driven by this, if I have this responsibility, I have to deliver. Man, he doesn't have this problem. He will figure it out later.
Yeah, so like it's a classic thing, and I'm guilty of this. When we buy a gift, let's say we're getting something from IKEA, right? Yeah. You open up a box, putting it together a table. Men, myself, will launch straight into, I don't need to read the instructions. I'll just figure it out. Whereas my wife would sit there, study it, go through it.
Yes.
And of course, she'll end up being right, and I won't. But it's that kind of, oh, we got this. This is easy. And I think, I don't know where that comes from. From my own perspective, I just don't like reading. I'm not a big reader. But I like the idea of being able to figure something out on my own without needing the help from someone else. I think
it's fascinating because it's the majority where I have. I mean, I was trying to convince her to take the promotion. Then I felt, no, if she's not ready, she's not ready. But I felt she was ready, which is funny because I know I wanted to rely on her, because when you are giving promotion to someone, it's because you want also to grow up. And I was sure that she's going to do the job 100% perfectly, because she's always looking to be perfect.
Yes.
And I had a doubt on the mail. But I was like, okay, you know, as a leader, you need to give a chance.
Okay.
And that's why.
Okay, on this question. So you've got 2 candidates, guy and a girl, both equally capable.
Oh my God, I know where you're going.
So what will you do? Because will you try and, you know, get the next Loubna to stand up to be the next, you know, potential, you know, inspiration for other women? So you'll end up naturally selecting maybe the female, or will you look at every other option? How would you approach 2 candidates, different genders, who gets the job, both equally capable? Do you have a natural, is there a natural bias because you are a woman and you want to fulfill a higher quota of women into more senior positions?
Look,
it's not a bad thing, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just curious to see how you think.
We have, I would say, an agenda to act. I have like 99% male in my team. I'm not proud of it. And I have like the global HR telling me, hey, Loubna, what is this? Don't tell me you don't find the women, right? But guess what? No one is actually applying. I don't know. Because again, for the application, she has to be on all the details of the job desk. The male, he will read the 5 line, if it's 5, he will maybe read 2, or the title, and he will say, I'm good for it. And he will apply.
Yeah.
Women, no, she will not apply until she fits 100%.
Yes.
So that's first thing. To answer to your question, I would see the soft skills. It's very important for me.
A man or women, which typically, I know it's a generalization, but who typically has better soft skills?
I think women has. I think women, when she has to make a decision, she doesn't rush. And she take it deeply. She will consider a lot, which sometimes can be bad because of the time lead, right? But from my own experience, and again, the data is not enough. Because again, the percentage is very low, you know what I mean?
100%.
But the percentage of male is high. So you can see the mistakes.
Yes.
So it's not fair to be sure about my answer to this question because I don't have really enough data to compare.
The good news is that there's going to be a lot of questions in this, which we'll get to in a bit, which is about somehow related to this, your industry and also yourself. Look, we had a chat a couple of days ago, and you told me that you haven't been wearing makeup for over a year.
Almost a year. In November it will be a year.
I couldn't believe that. Right, so you look great, right?
Thank you.
How,
this is my makeup.
And when I asked you also about your age, I'm not going to say what your age is, and this is maybe where you can call the Sammy card. But when I asked you about your age, you know,
I'm 46.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing, and you don't wear any makeup. So, but then you told me all of the benefits since. Yes. So why did you take that decision in the first place? And then talk to me a little bit about what that's like every day and the freedom maybe that you feel and not having to put makeup on.
I had a problem which is dark circle. So I had always to wear concealer, foundation to hide them. I was always talking to my mom. My mom, she never wore makeup in her life. And I will show you the picture of my mom. She's white, very white, and red hair. Nothing to do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and my dad is brownish, so it's two different. And she was like, I was like, how you do that? Your skin is perfect. She said, I put avocado, I put a tomato, whatever she has in the fridge.
But she peels it? She puts
she peels, for example, the avocado, and she mix it with one like little lemon, and then she put it on her face.
Okay.
Next day she will put bananas.
Okay.
Next day she will put tomatoes, cucumber. So you can find always salad on her face, but never makeup. Never. And I was like, I don't know how she do that. But she was always telling me that. Look, I took the decision when I was 45 years, not during the days when she was telling me. It took me a lot of time to take this, and specifically with the dark circle, because like I look like, someone has beaten me. And this is my skin. I mean, she was saying, leave it to breathe. When you are wearing something, it doesn't breathe. And then it keep darker and darker and darker. And I was like, no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She just has a perfect skin, DNA things, and that's it. So when I saw an interview of a young lady, I think she's American, she is now like the defender of anti-makeup. And she was like saying, we grow up, which I agree with her, we grow up in a society that women has to be beautiful, and if they want to be beautiful, we have some stereotype. And when you go to social media, we all want to be like this or whatever. And to be like that, we have to put this and this and this. We don't need that. And I was like, she's right. Why I'm doing this? The COVID helped a lot because I don't go out. I don't need makeup, right? So then I found out that my skin
was getting better.
And I was like, wow, what is this?
And you weren't putting avocados on your face at this point. You weren't putting avocados on your face. You weren't putting tomatoes on your face.
Nothing.
This was just without anything else.
Nothing. I got pregnant during the COVID.
I think a lot of people did.
Yes.
My wife included.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, oh, Loubna, once you will deliver, your skin will stop glowing. So you will see that it will come back. I said, okay, fine. Stop. No. And I got used to it.
So beauty and working environment.
Yeah.
Do you think it helps being attractive? Especially as a female in an industry such as yours. Does that help?
Not in the tech industry. I mean, I don't know about the other industries, but in tech industry, if you don't deliver, it's the opposite. I would say everyone is looking at women like, oh, she will not make it.
You can't be attractive and smart.
Yeah.
There must be something,
Yeah.
So they judge you based on that.
They judge you, like they see you and they say, oh, okay. So
Did you have to work harder because of that stereotype?
women, yes, they work harder.
Have you had to work harder yourself?
Honestly, I was always myself. I didn't feel that I have to make more effort. But people feel that I am making more effort.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm a bit workaholic, but that's my nature. It's not I'm making it or anything. But people, like, for example, they say, oh my God, Loubna is sending emails at 5 a.m. No, I'm sending emails at 5 a.m. because my baby was crying and I woke up, and I said, okay, she's gonna wake up again. It's better for me to work anyway. Yeah. So it's not like something that I'm making it. It came like that. And the opposite, I would love to work smarter than harder, honestly.
Okay, this is a good segue to look at my bag of balls. Questions that are in here. It's completely random.
Okay.
For you, anyway. You haven't seen what's in here, right?
No.
You have no idea what's coming.
No.
So what I would love you to do is to take a ball out of the bag, to read it out loud, and then we'll have a conversation about it. Yeah?
Your blueprint to deliver woman empowerment.
Okay.
Just blueprint.
Yeah. So it's basically, what is your plan? If you were in charge right now, by the way, you can pop it on the table at any time you like. So what is your plan, all right, to be able to actually deliver women empowerment? Because it's been talked about for such a long time. In fact, if you notice behind us, you can see, Do you like that? Do you like the
I
image?
love it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It reminds me of an Indian actress. I don't know why.
Interesting. It's supposed to be a little bit of you in there. So when it comes to women empowerment, so it's been talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own sort of theory, plan. What is your blueprint? What is your plan for success in actually finally empowering women, so it doesn't have to be a continuous conversation?
I found out that we need something practical, and I figured out how to launch a platform. It's like, let's say, a LinkedIn, but for women.
Okay.
So I called Connect to Elevate, and it's a real platform, like a monthly breakfast for women to connect together. And for example, if they are in the middle career and they want to meet with other TA, because the talent acquisition for a lot of companies, they said we want women, but they don't apply, for example, right? So I tell, okay, it's gonna be monthly breakfast and backed up with IT platform where all the women can register. They can put whatever they are doing, in which career, if we're talking about women in working like as employees or entrepreneur. They can talk about their projects, which type of industry, and all of it. And it will be like segmented by industry. At the same time, we will have sponsors, talent acquisitions, a startup that they are looking for investors. All of them, it will be dedicated to women. So I wanted something like really with a practical and result driven.
Yeah. So what would success look like then for you with this initiative?
For me is to give the opportunity to them to achieve what they want, because they are struggling on how to do it. And I believe a lot of women now, and specifically I met with them and I keep meeting with them, they are either in the middle career and they cannot go to because they believe they cannot go to the leadership position, and they have no one to help them. So we will teach them on how to present themselves, how to brand themselves, how to position themselves. That's the first thing, because I learned a lot about the fact that they think that the companies, they don't give them a support, which is not true. And all that is believed, all believes in their mind. It's more psychological thing than actually what is going on in the market. Yeah.
The thing is, women empowerment. Women have been talking about this. Men have been talking about this.
I don't like the empowerment
Okay,
word,
so
honestly.
what would you call it? So what would be the right name for you?
Support.
Okay.
Like you give them the right support.
The tools, the equipment, the ammunition.
The equipment, the guidance. Sorry. Yes, I would choose the guidance more than because I would tell you something. The empowerment, why it's not, it's like, your mom is woman, right, Luca?
She is.
Correct?
I've got 2 sisters.
And you had 2 sisters. So how, in my opinion, I am giving birth to a man Then later on, I'm asking for him to give me power. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
So it's not about empowerment. This stereotype, like empowering women doesn't need to be empowered. She needs guidance because she got lost in this society. When you go back, you know, you got Elizabeth II or Elizabeth I or Elizabeth III. All the women, the UK never been better, only under women. You know, you cannot, like, you go a lot of, it has been agenda on purpose to not let women go in further, you know? And we all know that.
So there's a societal issue and there's also a psychological, the mindset, right? So
it went so stronger that now women believes on that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to go that they will choose a man. No, go. Why you say that they will not?
Yeah.
And again, if you don't speak for yourself, no one will.
And you've been, I mean, this is something that I know you're very passionate about. You don't think things should come easy necessarily, but you also believe in fighting for things. Your mum was 15, like you mentioned.
Yes.
She fell in love, and against the wishes of her family, and I think your father's family, she decided to run off without any money to get married as a 15-year-old. I mean, if there's ever an example of women thinking for ourselves and not thinking about society, it's your mum. So how much of how you feel and how you structure your mindset is down to the way in which your mum sort of taught you?
I never want to be like my mom. That's funny part.
Well, with avocados and salad on your face.
No, it's not like, it's not like physical, because I found like she suffered a lot. You know, she suffered a lot. She didn't have family support. She got all her kids and she had to convince her family back to take her back. You know, it was really, really difficult for her. So I didn't want to have like same path as she had, you know, and she had to stop studying and she had to work for her family. So I was like always avoiding her, you know. But guess what? I think somehow I ended up like her. It's just in the way of thinking, in the way of, you know, always fighting.
Is that a Moroccan thing? Because I know a lot of Moroccans, and every Moroccan I've ever met, they're feisty, huh? Very feisty. But that's another conversation. But yeah,
because now I can say that.
Very, very feisty. Right, should we do another ball?
Yeah. Best thing about being married to a Lebanese. Oh my God. Sami.
No, come on. You can't use your safe word. What is the best thing about being... The best thing, not the worst thing. What's the best thing about being married?
I have a list of the worst more than the best. No. Joke aside. Having... How say that? You know, I grew up in a very serious society. Yeah. And being with the Lebanese is more funny.
So your first marriage, he was Moroccan, right?
Yeah.
Second marriage, Lebanese. So when you say funny, what does that mean?
Like, I feel that Lebanese people, the majority always, not to judge, look, whatever happens in Lebanon, people are still going out and having fun. This is unique. You cannot find it in any other country in the world. You know, I mean, Beirut got bombed, and the next day people are like, okay, we cried enough. Let's have fun. This spirit is amazing. Yeah. So that's why when I say funny is like always positive. They live the day.
Resilient as well. There's also a lot of resilience.
It's sort of, you know, another form of resilience. You know, so like they live the day. They need to be together, and they have this. It is funny because they have this form of always defending each other, right?
Like the guys in technology, the bro code.
Yes, but this is like Lebanese, you know, and you can find it in work, in families, everywhere. And at the same time, which is funny because I can compare it to Moroccan, they can play together poker, and one guy, if he leaves and say, hey, goodbye, have a good night, they start talking about him. Yeah. And I was like, guys, he was with you and you were like saying he's the best. What happened? And this is, for example, in Morocco, you can't. Yeah. It's just very...
It's very different. Yeah. So do you enjoy the Lebanese culture?
Yes. This culture, this part of culture, I really like it. I find that they defend themselves, this unity, this... Like in Morocco, even if you are family and if you do something bad, no one will recognize you. In Lebanon, no. You're still family, right? Yeah. Whatever bad you are, they don't care.
Very true.
You see, that's what I like, yeah.
Another ball. Let's do another ball.
More important to be loved or respected?
So now you can apply this to work, right? And you can apply this also at
Personal.
home. Yeah. So is it more important to be loved, or is it more important to be respected? Going back to what we first started with.
I think respected. Imagine if I am loved, I'm not respected. Like in a passion love, which I saw a lot of couple passionate, they don't respect each other. Does it work? No.
So what is respect? I mean, how do you get respect? How is it built?
As I told my son last time, it was last week, I said, if you beg for respect, it's too late. You're not respected. And if you ask for it, that means you don't understand it. I think respect, it's something comes when people and when you live with people in a society, because this is respect. You cannot be alone and, you know. Well, first, you respect yourself. You don't allow yourself to be badly treated or and keep being with people that they don't respect you.
So you set your boundaries, right?
You set your boundaries, and and for me, it's I use it in work, for example, leading by example. People will not respect you if they don't feel that you can do it. You are asking them to do something that you cannot do it. Or at least if it's not something that you can do because it's not part of your job or something, you can just say it. Stop making it up, you know?
How long does it take to get respect, and how long does it take to lose respect?
You can lose it immediately.
And how long does it take to get?
And how long it takes time, because people need to know you. You need to prove it.
It's very similar to trust, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a long time to trust someone, but then very quickly they can shatter your trust in seconds. So at work, when you walk in, right, you're VP, you're managing lots of big senior people. What's your approach of getting respect in the workplace?
I show honesty. I'm not bullshitting. And if I give you my word, I will keep it. This is my first thing. So a lot of team members, they thought whatever I told them in the kitchen when we were having a drink, I will not do it, or I forgot it.
Or it doesn't matter, or it's not.
Yeah, or she just was saying that because she was like in the beginning of the day, having nice energy, And months later, I was like, hey, you remember I told you that? Done. So my team was like, and I can be very tough in some decisions also. Like I can say to the person, look, I'm sorry, you didn't do well. I don't know the reason behind because you never shared that with me, but the results are here. They're talking, right? So please, no need to bullshit me. So I always put the humanity first, the honesty, and having an open discussion, because I don't like when people like just making up, It takes too much energy to remove the makeup.
Yeah. And I'm guessing over time, your bullshit radar gets better and better and better. So you can, within seconds, minutes, be able to say, this person's full of it.
Exactly.
Nice.
If I really feel that the person is like, she's just making it because she's afraid. Mostly people, they do that because they're afraid. They're not sure. They're not confident, right? People who are confident, they will not make it up, right? Even if they are made in mistake, they will come and say, hey, I made that mistake. I'm not planning to do it again. I learned from it. I want to do that.
It's the people that try and cover up. Those
those
that's true of any industry in any walk of life, even in a personal relationship. That's
mostly,
even harder.
And I the same thing. Coming back to Sammy, I was having this conversation with him, and I was like, don't bullshit me. No need. I am giving you a free environment that you can be yourself. What do you want more?
Yeah, very
so
nice.
Instead of judging, like, okay, be sure that you are in a safe place.
Yeah, very nice.
So I can help you or support you.
Your challenge as a mum, parenting a 3-year-old and a 17-year-old. What is the biggest challenge with that? There's 2 generations.
Every day, because I'm like relying on my son to understand my daughter when she's crying or she's making her, and he is like, why she's crying?
What's the name of your daughter?
Anita.
Anita.
Like, why she's crying? Why she cannot sit like us? I said, look, education every day, putting rules every day, it's good, but sometimes she's a kid, still kid, you know, you need to accept it. So the fact that I'm relying on him to understand that is like, I am a kid also, you know. Then he starts becoming, you know, needing attention and something. Vacation, it's a nightmare because she wants Club Med, he wants to go out.
He wants to go to a bar. Yeah, he's 17,
he's a
70-year-old guy. And he doesn't want to hang out with mum at the bar, believe me. Right, let's do another ball. Another ball.
AI, is it an end or a beginning? Yeah. Wow.
Some people see it as a beginning of an amazing new world. Some will argue that AI is the end of an era that was actually fantastic. Where do you stand on the whole AI conversation?
I think it's both. It is an ending.
So you're sitting on the fence, okay?
Yeah, it is. I think it's both. There is no.
End of what? What is it ending? What is AI ending?
I think it will. I think it will end the freedom of thinking. That's the end of it. Like you know, the freedom of thinking, it has been ending little by little, and now it's an official one. You know, when we go back to like Che Guevara, like Nelson Mandela, all of those biggest ones, they were free to think. You know, they were free to elevate their speech. They were free to say, I am against this. You know, they were free to look for another reality perspective, right? The communism came, then the capitalism came. All this, it's a free thinking, you know? The philosopher like Jean-Jacques Rousseau or whatever the philosopher, it stopped. It stopped and it's become a history. We become like talking about the philosopher like a history. It shouldn't, right? Then those fighters for freedom, they were afraid of losing the freedom of speech. So then we became capitalists. Then we become driven by social media. Then...
And search engines. Don't forget about search engines.
Yes.
You ask any question, it gives you an answer.
Exactly. Then we have, as we know, those families that are running the world. They said, hey, there is a social media here. How to control it? Search words. How we can control it more? AI. So I think it's gonna end the freedom, the real free spirits, those, you know,
the free thinking, the liberal thinking, challenging status quo.
You know, this hippie stuff, all this. Yeah. It became done, and now it's officially done by AI. And you know what's afraid me more about this? It's not even that. It's gonna be driven. The thought, la pensée, you know, the thought, the thinking, will be driven by male.
By male? Why? Why is AI male?
Because it was funny. If you ask AI what are the jobs of women, it will give you nurse as a beginning. I'm just taking as an example because it comes to me. It will give you all the things that we are, which is not really true because he is based on the data, right? And it's not everything on there. So it will become more, when we are thinking that we are empowering women, it will be the opposite actually. That's the funny thing. So
the input is limited.
It's limited.
It's not necessarily up to date, and it's not progressive thinking. It's fact driven, and the facts are historical, and those facts
historically they are very weak. And then whoever is gonna alimenter, don't I say like bring more, it will not be women. Because again,
and you're confident about that.
Because again of the percentage level.
Yeah.
Of the high level. Like for example, last time I was invited by university to give speech to students, you know, and the teachers. And I was like asking how many women applying in tech, you know, in university. Less than 1%. Because they think they all need to be first in mathematics. Who said that? Who said that? I was the last one in mathematics, by the way.
Me too.
The last.
Me too.
The last.
I'm right there with you. I was hopeless. Yeah.
But I was the first one in school, in the whole school, in philosophy.
Were you really? And there's something ending up in technology. You wouldn't associate philosophy with that. You would have actually associated maths more with tech.
Again, you know why I was first in philosophy and all my classmates was like, Loubna, what do you like about philosophy? We're all who is getting 0. I said, it's the only class that gives me freedom to say whatever I want. Why you don't see it like that? I can put 2 philosophers and I say I'm against them. And guess what? I can get 20.
Yeah, I'm seeing this common thread of freedom running right throughout. And feeling that you can challenge the status quo, feeling that you can push back, starting with your mum getting married at 15 all the way through to where you are now, remarrying again and all that. Because that you're breaking conventions because you want to feel free. So you see AI as the ending of liberty, of freedom of thinking, freedom of spirit. But okay, if that is the case, what is it the beginning of?
Yes, at the beginning will be the beginning of acceleration, everything. Like, for example, we will have access to the information that is still controlled, but still, like, everything will move fast. I will give you an example. Last time I was invited by the dean of school, and he was like, your son is cheating. I said, how?
Cheating?
Yeah. He said he used chat GPT.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I don't understand the question, honestly. And he said, yeah, he cheated in his exam. I said, no, he used technology for his exam. No, he cheated. I said, no, he used the technology. I will tell you something. You are afraid of the technology. He's not. He's using it for. So you have to change.
Like the whole educational system.
It will have to change.
It has to have been changed 10 years ago. Forget about now. 10 years ago it should have been changed.
But again, the agenda of the education was there for many years because we want people to think this, to read this, to study this. We don't want them to think about anything. And I was like, do you have philosophy in your class? I said, what is this? Did you see? Don't bullshit me about art, music, blah, blah. Okay, that's fun. But you don't have any philosophy to let those kids think, come up with ideas. They will not use ChatGPT, by the way. They cannot use it. There is no answer to philosophy. So for me, the future, if there is any jobs that need to be created and given as a chance, I swear to God, is arts and philosophers. We need philosophers in our governments, by the way. We need people are free to think without AI, to take elements and question them and see if we are going. Because this is the only thing that we can keep creating something for humanity, that's based on humanity.
Do you like the current generation, was it Gen Alpha? Do you like the young generation coming? What's your take on them?
They are like, Generation X, we're lost. Obviously, we are the only generation who can see, who lived, I don't know, how old are you?
I'm 41. I'm be 42 this year. So I'm the beginning of the millennials, like 1982.
Yeah, the beginning of millennials.
The first year, I think, of a millennial. I don't really feel like a millennial, but apparently I am one.
No, you are the beginning of...
millennial.
Yes, oh yes, I agree with you. Yeah, the last one of X. Okay, yeah.
So what? You're a couple of years older than I am.
Yeah, 46.
So 46, 5
Gen
years older.
X.
Yeah, Gen X. So what's your take on today's up and coming generation? So you had obviously Gen Z. Now you got Gen Alpha. What's your take on them?
The Gen Alpha, they're still will be how say that?
What are they going to look like? What's the world going to look like that they're growing up in?
They will consume because they don't have the background to compare. They will not, unfortunately, they will not have any reality.
They won't know what it's like to, because look, I used to call people up on the phone, of the house phone, and say, hi, can I meet you at 3 o'clock at, let's say, the cinema? And you just had to be there at 3 o'clock. There was no mobiles, there was none of that stuff. Check the timing of what to watch. You call up someone on a phone and you listen to an automatic recording. Or you just go to the actual, cinema to actually find the listings. They will never understand these type of things. Even generation now in their 20s, 25s, they just don't get it.
They don't get it. I mean, my son, when I was showing him a picture of his granddad with the phone, the fixed one, he was like, what is this?
Do you remember the car phones? The car phones were like the new thing. It was like, oh my God, you got a car phone. You must be super rich.
Yes.
I remember that period.
I remember when I saw it, my husband has a classic car, the Mercedes, and there is a car phone. He just keep it there. And my son didn't know what to do with it. It was funny because you look at him, he was like this. And when do you push the button? I said, you press the number. Which number? The number that you're going to call.
Yeah.
So you were remembering all the numbers.
Yeah.
Imagine, huh?
Yeah.
And I don't know any number.
It's it's crazy where we're headed. I think more and more, I don't know. I feel a bit sorry for the upcoming generation.
Me too.
But at the same time, they're trying to change the world more than we ever did. I actually starting to feel there's lots of movements that are being created through social media, whether you love it or not. Yeah. It's a way of bringing people together to actually try and change things. So there are some positives with it, for sure.
You know, last time I watched a video, a study in France about nutrition. They found out that the orange in 1950 has lost 80% of vitamins compared to the orange that we are eating today. 80%. Can you imagine? From 1950 to today. So how can you imagine the next generation will eat?
I don't. Making me, I mean, I'm never going to eat orange. I'm never going to eat orange again.
And I'm just saying, same thing for apple, same thing for all the basic fruits that they were eating the previous generation, 1950, to today.
Loubna, we've got to be more positive. We've got to be more positive about the future.
We are.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a wonderful, utopian, wonderful place.
Listen, I mean, longevity is there.
Yeah.
We are talking about human that they can live.
Well, we're going to keep on living. We're going to keep on living,
right?
Especially if you keep putting salad on your face. Right. Let's pick another ball.
The one stereotype you wish to smash.
What is that one stereotype? You know, stereotype is something that, people talk about that they associate.
Many, but anyway,
what's that one that you would just love to just destroy it, smash it out?
You can't do it because you are a woman.
Okay.
Should I go for
You can. I mean, it's great. And you can do it. And you are doing it. So you are smashing it, which is great.
Top-down, quota or right candidate wins. What does it mean?
So a lot of businesses are putting a quota on the number of females they want to have in leadership. So it'll be a top-down. So by, let's say, 2030, we want to have 50% of our leadership to be female. That's a quota. Do you believe in that top-down approach, or do you believe in the right candidate wins? Right? And we kind of talked about it a little bit. The problem is, from my perspective, when you have a right candidate wins, if they end up being more male, you're going to still not have answered the problem. But then is it better as a business to put someone who isn't necessarily strong enough for the job just to fulfill a quota, so externally it will look like it's a balanced company? Having said that, balanced companies are the ones that tend to be the most profitable, right?
It's true.
So top down to fulfill a quota.
You influence already my answer, you know that?
Yeah, but I want to know, because look, I've been there. I've managed businesses. I've managed companies, and it's a challenge, right?
It is.
What would you choose?
I would choose the second option, which is actually choosing women to increase not the quota, to have, it's good for business, not only for the quota. It's good for business.
So a top-down approach, you'd look at a.
But I don't like it as a top-down approach.
We'll change the naming of it, but it's effectively about getting a target to actually have X amount of percentage of people, women, in leadership positions.
Yes. I think diversity benefits the business a lot. The way of working change. You don't have any more like this. What do you call it? How say that?
Say it in Moroccan. I'll try and figure it out.
Like.
Burberry, but without the Y. Say it in Berber.
Union.
Okay.
Because you have always someone who can break those unions and have new way of seeing things. So it is when the company can afford to coach people, right? They have the right they can afford to hire. Even not matching 100%, but to give her the chance. The most important, as I said, the soft skills, the capacities, the abilities. That's what I see in the interview. I never ask about the knowledge. If you have the right soft skills, you can make the knowledge. Yeah. You can learn them.
I mean, in theory, when you're interviewing someone, when they reach your stage, they would have been screened by HR, they would have seen one or two other people, and all the technical capabilities would have been already tick, tick, tick. So when it comes to your stage, it's more about, are they a good person? Are they someone that I want to talk to? Are they someone... Yeah. I used to have a thing in my old job where I used to invite people out socially for a drink.
Yes, I do that.
And if I can have a drink with them, I can work with them. Yeah. If I don't enjoy their company in a social gathering over a drink, then I won't hire them.
If you ask me the question, what do you want it really to be? I would tell you a fashion designer. That was my dream. I was designing.
Great outfit today, huh?
I was
on brand with Inside Track. Love it.
You see, like I was designing, but when I got my baccalaureate when I was 16 years old, my dad was like, "No way you go to Paris when you are 16 years old. Forget about it. Do something else. There is no fashion designer."
Sorry, but how did you go from like philosophy at school, fashion designer, wanting to be that, to now working in technology? That's a hell of a
I never studied
story.
math to be in technology, and I always share that with women. Stop having this stereotype. Yeah. But again, I was always targeting leadership positions. I don't need to be a technical person. That's not. I cannot be a technical person when I am like a philosopher person or art person. I can't. I am passionate about how to lead people, how to take the most important timing that they can create and give and be happy in what they are doing. Leading them, that's the best. And leading multicultural. When you are leading a Lebanese, it's not like you are leading German, you know?
Is it easier leading a company or leading your 3-year-old daughter?
Yeah.
Which is easier?
Company.
It's easier to manage the company. I love that. Should we do the last ball?
Describe what is it to be a woman in 2024.
Okay,
well,
think about this.
It's a big debate.
It is.
Now with what's going on.
I've been really looking forward to having you on just so I can ask this question. What is a woman in 2024? Explain it to me.
Where do you want? What answer do you want?
Just
Luca?
tell me what. Tell me what you honestly think. What is a woman in 2024? What does that mean?
It's Sammy. Oh my God! With what's going on in the world, I'm lost in the definition.
So you, as a woman, you're lost. As a woman who's been advocating for the right mind, not women empowerment, but you're advocating for,
I'm lost in the definition.
Female guidance. You're someone who's an advocate for female guidance. You don't know what a woman is in 2024.
No.
How can we know what a woman is in 2024 if you don't know?
Honestly, is it about feeling? Because everyone can feel whatever they want, or is it about how we are born physically? This too much freedom. That's what can kill freedom. Nothing else.
So on one hand, we have our freedom being taken away through AI, but on the other hand, too much freedom can lead.
I cannot believe, honestly. I had a discussion with a friend of mine who is in Canada. His daughter is 8. She likes to play with pistolet, with guns. And they asked her, "Do you want to be a girl or a boy?" She said, "I want to be a boy," because she plays with the guns. Then they knocked the door at the government, and they came and they convocate him and they say, "Hey, your daughter wants to be a boy. You need to think in 2 years so she can start her hormonal therapy." Now he's moving to Dubai. I was like, sorry?
Yeah.
And he has no word to say. As a parent, he has no word to say.
What do we do as parents? Because my kids are still young, but what is the right way to educate, to teach?
So he's now every day convincing her to play with la poupée, with dolls. He's trying to convince her. Can you imagine? So she can show another side.
What should a woman be in 2024, in your opinion?
Women should be free to express herself without judgment. Because what we are suffering from is the judgment. A judgment on when she's in her period, for example. To be judged when she is last time, not that much. I heard few people in my team saying, "Oh, forget, she has her period, that's why she goes crazy." What is this? And I said, I just heard, I said, yes, she has. Yes, she can go crazy. But why are you judging? A human, it's a human. I'm not saying she doesn't. It's just this judgment, do not take her seriously.
Yeah, understand, empathize.
That's it. Because if a man is sick or he didn't get his cigarette, no one say, "Hey, he didn't get his cigarettes."
Yeah, but what happens with men? So we talk about man flu. Have you ever heard about man flu? So let me explain man flu. Maybe it's more in the UK side of things. A man and a woman gets the flu, right? It's exactly the same.
Yes.
It's exactly the same. But man flu is just so much worse.
Yes.
Right. So, and men, we like to talk about how much pain we're in, how awful it is. And the woman says, "Yeah, I have the flu too." No. we have real flu, right? So
Yes.
the terminology man flu
I
is,
love it.
is based on, men are somehow weaker when it comes to dealing with illness, sickness, all that kind of stuff, right?
Because
we exaggerate things so much more.
But you know why? I find that very smart way of not doing things and being
Lazy.
Yeah, lazy.
Sympathy.
Yeah, because I can see my husband, for example, when he's sick.
She's onto us, guys. She's onto us. She knows why we're doing this.
Like we can rather see my husband like, I am sick. He is sick, and he will start calling everyone. Wallahi khayi, I can't do it. I am like, wallahi khayi, I'm dying. You tell him there is a poker night. So where is the sickness? Sickness, it's only about, go in, pick up the kids, doing this, doing that. Very sick.
Love it.
So it's not. It's smart way of
dodging, avoiding. Yeah.
And women know we are here.
We're
perfect.
sneaky. We're sneaky like that. You girls are much more honest.
But the body of women is also used to pain every month. Yeah. So we don't conceive or realize that, but unconsciously we become like, oh, if I have, it's just the flu. My period is more than this, Yeah. So it's all inconsciemment. We don't choose it.
So you're now, let's say we're fast forwarding now your life. You're in your 70s, okay? You're either in Lebanon or you're in Morocco.
I don't know if I'm gonna live to 70.
Yeah, inshallah you're gonna live much longer. When you look back, what do you want to be remembered for? Because right now people know you as the woman in tech, right? The Arab lady in technology. Is that something that you'll be proud of, or is it something that you still haven't yet fulfilled that you want to try and do?
I feel I didn't do anything yet. Even though people, they say no, I mean, there is so much things to do.
Like? What do you want to do?
Again, if I am free from money, because again, this is part of freedom also, I would have like work for society, having like, some projects for women and their kids, give them like more, help them in reality, not the women that they can afford, the women that they cannot afford, That makes me happy. And I'm not doing it only for them, for myself, because I will feel happy about it. I will feel like I'm really contributing on something that has an impact, on a life. It can be one life, it can be 100 lives. So the more, it's like, collection. If I save one life, two lives, that's what makes me feel more proud of myself.
Look, you're a very passionate lady. I can see that from how you speak, what matters to you. Yeah. You're very driven, you're relentless, you're fearless. You're also someone who, you don't bullshit and you don't like bullshitters. No. Right, and I think maybe that's a Moroccan thing, or maybe that's something just for you. But look, you're
a Berber thing, not
it's a Burberry. Look, it's been wonderful having you on, Loubna. I know you're going to continue to smash it, whatever you do, and I think you should go for it, and you probably will go for it, knowing who you are and the story that you've had. So thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you so much,
Stay in
Luca,
touch.
for having me today. It was really great conversation, honest one, an open one. I loved it. Thank you for the setup, for the team. Amazing.
You're most welcome, and you'll take this with you as well, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna keep this here if that's okay. Do you mind me?
Of course.
Yeah. That's all right.
Of course.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you soon on the Inside Track.